Oh, what's up, everybody? This is NorbCam coming at you. Post-game snow driving vlog here in the NorbCam van. Just dropped off my dad at their house. Now I got to make sure I can get home in one piece. Got to go up this snowy hill, my parents' house. I'll show you the view as we talk about this game, so you can witness. If I do get stuck, you can see what it looks like. Snow has stopped a while ago, but some of these back roads are still pretty snowy. And as long as I play my cards right and don't do anything stupid while driving this all-wheel drive Toyota Sienna, that should be okay. Alright, looks like I'm gonna be alright. Anyway, I thought I'd just share a few thoughts after this game. Oh, internet really sucks here. Alright, here we go. Yeah, this game, this felt like a microcosm, if I need to get technical, fancy wording here, microcosm of our 2021 season. This has been a season made of games that we should have won, but screwed up down the stretch and couldn't close out, and that's why we lost. Simple as that. We've had so many games where we had plenty of opportunities to take the lead or put a team away, and because of poor execution or bad mistakes, it came down to blowing it. What's up, Daniel? What's up? You can't read that name. It's too small for me to read. But this game, and to be honest, as frustrating as it can be to feel like we should have won that game, emotionally I really am fine. I think partially because in the back of your mind you kind of know that no matter what happens, this game doesn't really mean anything, so that you don't feel that, if this had been a game where we had to win this or we're out, or you either win, you get into the playoffs, or you lose and you're out. If it had been that sort of weight, it'd have been really depressing. But given that the season was pretty much done, it's not like we were really losing anything big in this process. It would just been nice to have had a win just to cap off this fun day after Christmas snow game. But this game we were playing good enough to where all we needed to do is do one more thing. It reminded me a lot of the Titans game. Wow, look at that. That's a cool house over there. Check it out. You can't see it. Too bad. Nicely lit house. It's one of the better ones I've seen. Where if one side of the ball or one aspect of the game executes one thing, we win the game. Jason Myers makes the field goal, it's a 2-score game, game's over. If defense gets a stop in the final drive and doesn't allow them to go 25 whatever yards down the field to score not only a touchdown but a 2-point conversion, basically giving up the only score combination that loses the game, we win the game. They don't get it done. Offense, we had multiple times, we were in really good short field goal range, and all Russell had to do was not take a sack, or throw it to the check down guy, or throw it out of the end zone, or just something. But if he doesn't lose yards, instead of a 39-yard field goal, it's like a 29 chip shot. And he probably makes that one and we win the game. So we've had so many games like this in our hands. The Titans game, I think, first, in my thought, where we do one thing and we win the game. So it's been that way. And again, the margin of error for Seattle is so small that you feel like if we screw up one thing, if we miss one, fail to execute one thing, if he doesn't overthrow DK Metcalf on that one third down, should have been a catch play, and he overthrows him and we don't get it. I'm convinced that if he hits Russell Wilson earlier in the game, whereas third quarter, I think. Was it third quarter? I think it was third quarter. Anyway, he overthrows DK Metcalf and we don't get the first down, we have to punt. That was an easy play, wide open. If we don't get that, if we get that play, I feel like we're going to score, and it makes it a game that was easy win. So it's been that way. It's just been that way all year. Blown opportunities, games that we should have won, and it came down to just a handful of close plays. And we've been so good at winning those games over the past several years that were just as close, but we've always somehow found a way to end up on the winning side, and it just hasn't been the case this year. Russell Wilson had a chance to try to go down the field. All we had to do was get in field goal range, get a field goal, and Jason Myers could redeem himself and kick a field goal. But what happens? Just it was bad. We started from our own 26-yard line, and there's a holding call in there. There's some dropped slow passes. Wilson tried to run it, and he fell short. Luckily, there was an offsetting penalty, but then we only had 20 seconds left. He tries to throw it to, I don't know, it was Tyler Lockett, I think. Way overthrown, and that was that sputtering, not even close type of exciting finish to at least even give ourselves a chance to have that game-winning field goal. So, just yet another example of this sort of season that's been what it is. And yet throughout the game, there was so many fun moments, good moments. The touchdown to DK was great. Touchdown to Gerald Everett was great. The running by Rashad Penny, who's been looking really good, which just adds more complication to his situation, because he was so injured throughout his whole career that you felt almost like, forget him, we can't count on him. And then, of course, now he tears it up in the final few games of his year before his contract's over. So now he has to wonder, so do we judge him based on what he did the first 3 years, or judge him based on what he's done the last 3 or 4 games? Because if you look at the last 3 or 4 games, this guy's looking awesome, running over 100+ yards a couple times, not being injured. Or do you go, bulk of the last few, most of his career, and go, well, this dude can't be counted on. So which version of him do you think is more expected to happen? So they got some decisions to make there. But again, back to that whole Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll debate will rage on until something is decided during the offseason. It's going to be very interesting, the whole Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson stay together. Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson both leave. Pete Carroll stays, Russell Wilson leaves. Russell Wilson stays, and Pete Carroll gets fired. I mean, that's 4 different options that we'll all be watching super close. And I will still say, as much as it's frustrating to watch what's going on, and you scratch your head wondering what is wrong with this team, why are they not doing the things that they have done in the past, does getting rid of one or both of these guys, is that really the prudent thing? It's kind of like the Jason Myers thing, right? Last year he didn't miss a single field goal. He was perfect on field goals last year. This year he's missed plenty, and I don't know for sure the exact number, but he's definitely missed at least kicks that cost them potentially 2 wins, maybe 3. And that's tough, because, and then do you go after that and go, well, he's no good, just fire him, get a new kicker because he sucked this year, it cost us 3 games? Or is it just a bad year? Russell Wilson, it's just been a bad year for him. It's a bad year for the coach. Every team sometimes goes through a bad year where they just nothing goes your way. But is that enough for you to decide we need to fire everybody to fix things, or does it just need some time? Do you need, do you just go past this year and go, well, it just wasn't it? But I believe in this combination they can get back there, because when you look at the totality of things, of course, we've had so many great years, and who's to complain about for a 10-year season to make the playoffs 8 out of the 10 and only have 1 losing season, and 2 years out of that you didn't make the playoffs. Not too many organizations you can look up and see that kind of track record. Or is it really broken? Is it really trending so much in the recent years that it's that bad that we're masked by the playoff appearances that we've had? It just finally came to a head now. I don't know. That's the big question that Seahawks fans will be wondering for a while here. And even Michael Dixon, who I've been saying is joking, he's the MVP of the team. Not really joking. I'm kind of serious about that. He had kind of a not great game either today. He kicked a short kick that ended up being returned to our own 15-yard line. can't remember if they scored off of that. We had some goal line stands today, which was pretty impressive. But he had another punt that he kicked in the end zone that would have been nice if he could have pinned him inside the 10. Just didn't have those magical, and there's another car stuck on the side of the road. I'll show you some of the road here. This is kind of interesting to see the treacherous route we got going on here. There's another guy stuck. I was going to go this road coming here to pick up my dad. There's another truck stuck at the side. That one is still there from this morning. I actually skipped this route because of the fact that car was there. But the snow wasn't as bad as they said. They said it was going to be snowing all the way till 9 o'clock tonight. It really tapered off at about 1:30 in the afternoon. Actually about 2:30 in the afternoon, and never really regained. So I think this is it. This is about all it's going to be. Now we get into a deep freeze for the next 2-3 days, where it's going to be sub-freezing temperatures for the next 2 days, and then it'll start to warm up on Wednesday. I feel like a weather report, weatherman. Highs in the high 27s, in the high 20s, and down to the teens in the evening, with a cold front coming in from the North Arctic air. But that game has fun. It had its moments though. Defense had a goal line stand, early in the game, and they had another one where they kept them out. Had some sacks, lots of pressure on the quarterback. So they had a lot of things that you gotta be pretty happy about. But again, in the end, it just wasn't enough. They let them hang around, couldn't put them away. Good teams put these games away, and we have not been able to do it all season long. Yep, sad. Russ is selling so bad. I do wonder what goes through Russ's head. Does inside, is Russell Wilson finished as a Seahawk in his own mind? Or does he really want to be here? Only he knows that. Only he and his agent know that. Is there really this conflict between Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll, or is this something the media just talks about? Just lit 2 with Super Chat. Going to eat my sorrows with chicken wings. You? I got some leftover from yesterday's Christmas dinner I'm going to jump into. I got some prime rib we made yesterday. So, now that Russ can't run, he cannot pull out crucial wins like he used to. I still think he needs to run some more. I was really impressed when they ran the read option. You see that one time that the Seahawks pulled out the read option, and Russ kept it and actually ran for, it only turned out to be 3 yards or so, but I'd actually like to see him do that a few more times. Just keep them honest, because what happens is with the read option and the way it's typically run is he's got the option to hand it off or keep it. He watches the tight end, the defensive end. If the defensive end crashes to make the play on the running back, Russell can keep it going around that edge, because there'll be nobody there until you get to the linebacker or the cornerback. And that worked for a 3-yard gain. And if they do that, even if they don't run it again and Russell doesn't keep it, the fact that the defensive end might have to hold for a second and just see if Russell's going to keep the ball, it'll give the running back just an extra beat to get through the line of scrimmage, to where maybe that defensive tackle or defensive end doesn't come down to make the play, and the running back gets to the first wave and breaks through. Rashad Penny, with his speed, one thing he's really good at is once he gets past the first level of the defense, if he gets out in that second level open field, he's got enough speed that he can break one, and he did that a few times today. We saw what happened. And so, it's been fun watching him do his thing and show what he can do with the speed that he's got. And he's definitely the fastest of all the running backs. DJ Dallas is pretty fast too, but Rashad Penny definitely showing that he's got breakaway speed that can really, turn a play wide open. So I wish they would actually run the read option a little more. They don't have to do it a ton like they did back in the 2012, 2013. but just keep it in there so that they have to respect it. Gerald Everett made a lot of plays today, had a touchdown, a bunch of catches. It's just too bad that they had stuff going with DK early, but then second half, I think only got 2 targets. It blows my mind how they are unable to connect more often. They missed that one crucial 3rd down and short one, 3rd and 4, I think, and he could not find DK, overthrew that ball, and just did not cost them a 1st down and potentially, in the end, the game, because we only needed one more play, one more 1st down, one more score, a field goal to win. And that's just been the story. One play short. So I'm kind of glad in some ways to sort of rip the Band-Aid off, and that way we don't have to keep fooling ourselves with discussions about, can we still make the playoffs? I think we all realistically knew in our heart of hearts that that wasn't going to happen. And I think it was pretty much done after the Falcons and the Eagles won today. But this kind of ends all that talk now. So we can really just go, okay, we're just playing to see if we can finish strong. It would suck to lose to the Lions. It was bad enough losing to a team in Chicago that I thought sucked already, and found a way to lose to them. I really want to beat the Lions because it would suck to lose to the Lions, and I would love to beat the Cardinals. I'd love to continue to just ruin their year and watch the Cardinals have an easy exit, 1st round loss in the playoffs, when they started so hot and now they're just free falling down, especially with DeAndre Hopkins out. So we can play spoiler a little bit, at least on the last game of the season. So we got one more game at home next week, and then the final game on the road against Arizona. But at least we can forget about talking about playoffs. Playoffs talk is done. Now we can just try to finish this game, finish the season out, and then talk about next year. This is probably one of the most intriguing off seasons ever in a long while for Seattle. Give you a little view on what's going on up here. So, man, it's going to be fascinating. It's going to be very fascinating to see what kind of moves the Seahawks do or don't do, who they keep, and starting with the Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson thing. I really don't think Pete Carroll's going to go anywhere, because unless Jody Allen really is getting that feeling like her time with Pete Carroll's over, she would have to break his contract, buy him out, whatever, pay him whatever he's guaranteed to get paid to make that change, have an idea of who would be the coach to replace him, and then the switch goes over to Russell Wilson, future with Seattle. A, does Russell Wilson want to be here? Secondly, even if he wants to be here, does the team, in terms of the manager, do they still feel like Russell Wilson is worth keeping in all this? It's going to be really fascinating to see. I just, believe it or not, I actually would be okay if they didn't make any major wholesale changes. If they actually allowed Pete and Russ to be together one more year, I would be okay with that. I'm not one of those guys who feel like it changes. We must make radical changes. Sometimes, you just got to let things play out and give things time. And Shane Waldron, really, I just don't know if he's really had a chance to. It's his first year play calling. You can fire him after 1 year because, the results of it. Is it his fault? Ken Norton Jr., looking at him. I mean, did the defense improve enough to feel like he's defended his job? We had a lot of other new assistant coaches playing, coaching in this year. So, see a little bit more of the home stretch here. I'm almost home. I do love this, though. It was exciting. I should have taken more of the drive into the stadium because, man, there was a point where I was coming up the on-ramp and there were cars all slipping and sliding. It was like a clover leaf kind of corner type of on-ramp, and there are 4 cars all have slid to the inside like this. I'm gonna really take it slow on this one, but imagine this was an on-ramp except it was going up. there was one car after the next, all stuck on the right side. There was a one front-wheel drive car trying to get out of there, spinning his wheels. There was a Camaro, had no shot, spinning his wheels with the engine roaring, torque too strong. And then a car that was right in front of me started to slide and went from my lane and slid to the right. And I was thinking, man, if this guy stops or gets stuck in front of me, I'm going to get stuck because I would lose my momentum and I'd end up like these cars and maybe run into one of these cars, sliding into them. So I got real nervous there, but I stuck. I went real close to the edge on the left, and where the snow wasn't completely packed down. And I was able to avoid the rest of the cars on the right side and stayed on the left and got past them and managed to get on the freeway. But man, it was crazy. But yeah, this is an all-wheel drive. This Toyota Sienna is an all-wheel drive vehicle. I don't know if it's the only minivan that's got all-wheel drive, but I know between a Honda and a Toyota, this is the only one that has one. It has the all-wheel drive.